Part-timers don't have the right to speak. When I transferred to a new workplace, I was greeted with these harsh words from a female manager, Kate, who even slapped me on the cheek. Overwhelmed by Kate's outrageous behavior, I felt my anger boil over. I decided then and there, without any hesitation, that I would fight back. My name is Mary. I'm a 50-year-old employee. I'm married to John, who is the same age as me. John works at a different company and has a very kind nature. We don't have children, but our marriage is strong, and one of our favorite things to do is to plan trips when we have extended breaks. We always look forward to deciding where to go next. I work at the headquarters of my company. The headquarters is considered a prestigious place to work, and the salary is quite decent. I never had to worry about money, and I thought I could smoothly sail through life. I was asked to transfer to a subsidiary one day about a month ago. My boss explained that the subsidiary's performance was not up to par and wanted me to inspect and identify areas for improvement. I willingly accepted the task, not knowing it would turn into a nightmare. On my first day at the subsidiary, I attended the daily morning meeting. There, I introduced myself and greeted the employees. I just transferred here and have a lot to learn, but I'll do my best. Thank you for having me. Most of the employees responded with friendly smiles. It seemed like I was accepted, but one reaction stood out. It was from a manager, Kate. She's about 60 years old and has been a manager for around a year. She always dresses in high-end suits and wears famous brand necklaces. Kate looked at me with a scowl, clearly not pleased, but, "What's this? Working your hardest? Sounds like a grade schooler's greeting." Moreover, she loudly mocked me. The previously warm atmosphere instantly turned awkward. Everyone looked uncomfortable, but no one dared to confront Kate. It seems she wielded significant power here. No one senior to Kate attended these meetings, so there was no one to reprimand her. And soon it was evident why. Kate would harshly scold her subordinates for any mistakes. "How can you not do such a simple task? You're incompetent. When I was your age, I'd have finished this in an hour." She would yell this and more, crossing the line from guidance to outright verbal abuse. One day, I couldn't stand it anymore and confronted Kate. "Don't you think that's a bit too harsh? Such treatment could break the employees' spirits." But Kate dismissed me. "Shut up. You're my subordinate, aren't you? Don't you dare talk back." With that, she left to get coffee, clearly irritated. I sighed, wondering how someone could be so tyrannical. But Kate's problematic behavior didn't end there. She had a habit of dumping tedious tasks on her subordinates, inadvertently increasing their workload. Overtime was common in this department, and the employees often looked exhausted. Kate would say, "I have tons of work as a manager. I have to constantly email clients and attend business dinners." While she appeared busy with her computer or going out, it was clear she was pushing her responsibilities onto her subordinates. "Kate, the task you delegated the other day should be your responsibility. It's not good if you can't manage your own work. I can help you review your workflow if you'd like." I suggested this, but Kate erupted in fury. "What? I can handle my own work. Your help is unnecessary. Instead of wasting time with pointless talk, get back to work." Her anger was so intense that I had no choice but to back down. After that incident, Kate completely targeted me. "You're a 50-year-old woman, right? Probably tech illiterate. But in today's world, you need to use a computer. I'll give you plenty of computer tasks. Learn quickly. And master flying touch, whatever that is," she said, intending to overwhelm me with work. But it's blind touch, not flying touch. Kate herself can't do blind typing. I've only ever seen her using her index fingers to type on the keyboard. Being looked down upon by such a person was unpleasant. While I'm not the strongest with computers, I've used them daily at the headquarters and can type without looking. I managed to complete the work Kate assigned me by the deadline. However, she seemed displeased and assigned me even more work, with unreasonable deadlines. It's impossible to finish this amount of work in such a short time. Please reconsider the workload and the deadline. When I said this, Kate laughed mockingly. Can't you even handle the tasks you're assigned? This is the problem with incompetent middle-aged women. You've lived long but accomplished nothing. By the way, you mentioned traveling as a hobby, but are you sure you have enough savings for retirement? Maybe you should save a bit more. This made me angry. My hobbies and my work are unrelated, so let's get back on topic. You set a 10-day deadline, but it's feasible to complete this task in 20 days, right? I'll consider the deadline to be 20 days. After stating this firmly, I returned to my desk to start working. What I said was factual, so changing the deadline shouldn't be a major issue. However, Kate seemed to dislike this. Incompetent, and can't even follow a supervisor's instructions. And began to frequently hurl insults at me. The situation continued for a month, leading up to today. There's a regular meeting today, but I'm dreading it. Needless to say, the reason is Kate. Kate has no grasp of the work or the situation of her subordinates in her department. During meetings, she consistently makes absurd suggestions and opinions. When her subordinates gently point out issues, follow your supervisor's orders. She gets angry and forces her opinions on them. I'm already fed up with this, even though I've only been here for a month. As the usual meeting started, Kate began to assert her selfishness as usual. Today's first agenda was about how to improve work efficiency. Kate confidently stated her opinion. It's simple. Just take breaks while working, and tasks will naturally get done faster. No need to discuss this in a meeting. Let's move on to the next topic. The subordinates seemed to think, if only we could take breaks that easily. If they encountered Kate during their break, you sure can take breaks easily without doing your work, she would sarcastically say. Everyone sneaks in breaks when Kate isn't around, but it's not enough to fully recover. Worse, Kate tends to make arbitrary rules that hinder work efficiency. In the month I've been here, I realized this. Everyone wants to abolish these rules immediately, but they're too scared of Kate to say anything. Why can Kate behave so tyrannically? Because she's a relative of a high-ranking executive at the headquarters? In other words, she has connections. Moreover, Kate is overly friendly to those above her in rank. There was a past incident of her harassing subordinates, but she seemed very remorseful and avoided being fired. I've heard people in upper management at this subsidiary say that Kate isn't that bad. She's truly a troublesome person. However, I can't let the situation continue and have been planning to take action. On the day everything was prepared, I said during the morning meeting, "There's a regular meeting scheduled today, but I have something important to discuss. Please allocate some time for it." Then Kate, looking angry, approached me. I thought it would be the usual sarcasm, but suddenly she slapped me on the cheek. "Part-timers don't have the right to speak. How dare you bring up a topic in a meeting?" Kate said, sneering. Overwhelmed by Kate's outrageous behavior, I felt my anger boil over. Slapping me on the cheek just because she dislikes me was too much. I decided then and there, without any hesitation, that I would fight back. First, it seemed Kate had a big misunderstanding about my position, so I decided to correct her. I'm not a part-timer. I'm a full-time employee. And didn't you know, I'm from the headquarters. At this, Kate's expression froze. Headquarters? I let out a sigh intentionally. We've been working together for over a month, and you didn't know that. There should have been proper communication from the headquarters." "Really?" Kate rushed to her desk, rummaged through her messy papers, and pulled out a document. After reading it, "It's true." She turned pale and said, apparently, her lack of interest in work and poor document management led to her misunderstanding about me. I was surprised she hadn't realized it all this time. The others looked on, clearly dismayed. Kate must have seen her subordinates merely as tools for stress relief. "Well, now that the misunderstanding is cleared up, let's get back to work. If we keep standing here talking, we won't finish our tasks. We still have time before the regular meeting, so let's continue our work as usual." After I said this, everyone returned to their desks and started working. "Wait, we're not done talking. Don't ignore me, and act on your own." Kate was red with anger, but no one listened to her. Although they don't say it out loud, they probably want to say that they can't keep up with you. I don't feel like listening to instructions from people who misunderstand full-time employees as part-timers. Seeing everyone abandon Kate, she shouted, "All of you are useless. You'll see what happens when you defy me." Then she stormed off. No one stopped her, as her absence was more of a benefit to the workplace. Eventually, it was time for the regular meeting. Kate returned, begrudgingly. As the meeting started, I decided to make a significant announcement. "Everyone, please listen. It has been officially decided to terminate Kate. One reason is her constant harassment of subordinates." Some people showed expressions of joy, while others looked worried, wondering how Kate would react. They must be worried that Kate won't stay silent. In fact, Kate looks relaxed. Kate herself seemed confident, probably relying on her connections. I decided to bring her back to reality. Kate is close to Mike, a board member. It's been revealed that he's been embezzling and will be dismissed. The police have also been notified. Upon hearing this, Kate's face turned white. "No way! How could this happen?" As she panicked, I looked at her coldly. "You've lost your backing, and are now just a harassing supervisor. The upper management won't forgive you, even if you show remorse. Resistance is futile." "But evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's just your imagination." Kate still tried to retaliate. I wonder what kind of nerve she has that she still hasn't reflected on her actions even after this period. Criminals often say, "Is there any evidence for that?" So I revealed my final card. This is a voice recorder. I recorded all your abusive words, and the audio has been sent to the headquarters. They are well aware of how you've been a hindrance. Upon hearing this, Kate finally seemed to give up. But her misdeeds weren't over yet. "Kate, there's still something you're hiding, right?" Kate trembled as I glared at her. "What else? I've only harassed my subordinates." "Only harassed? Harassment is already a severe offense." Kate was lost for words. Well, back to the point. You've also been neglecting work, right? Our investigation revealed you played games during work hours, pretended to go out for work, but bought idle merchandise, and even napped on park benches. Your claims of communicating with clients were lies. The employees all directed cold stares at Kate. It must have been unforgivable for them to see a boss who was so strict about work actually slacking off. In her confusion, Kate blurted out a question. "How did you know where I really went?" "I reported your frequent outings to the headquarters, suspecting something was amiss. The headquarters decided to hire an investigation firm to look into your behavior." "That's a crime. Following me secretly is a crime." I calmly explained in response to her anger. "I don't think this qualifies as a crime. It was done to investigate an employee's negligence, not for criminal purposes." Kate seemed to want to say more, but before she could, one of the employees spoke up. "Crime or not, Just apologize already. How can you not apologize after all this? The employee, usually quiet, was now visibly angry and red-faced. Other employees also started demanding an apology. Hearing their words, Kate began to tremble. Shouldn't you apologize properly? Reluctantly, Kate stood up and apologized to everyone. I'm sorry. I've been terrible and I accept my punishment. However, the criticism from the employees didn't stop. Eventually, Kate broke down in tears, but no one showed any sympathy. They just mentioned she was responsible for her actions. I felt no pity for Kate either. I'm sure Kate has a tough life ahead of her, but I just hope she suffers at the most. Kate was subsequently fired. I left my workplace feeling lonely, without a farewell party or a farewell gift. Kate not only spent too much money on her idol's goods, but also bought a lot of luxury items. Because of that, I was forced to find a new job immediately, as I had no savings. But given my age and overly specific conditions, it seemed difficult to find a good company. I'm utterly dismayed by Kate's continued selfish behavior, even after being fired for misconduct. I wish she would suffer a bit and realize how lenient she has been on herself. Eventually, Kate became financially desperate and had no choice but to take any job she could find. Reluctantly, she joined a company with a boss who was like a demon and younger than her. Unable to withstand her overly strict boss, Kate soon resigned. At the worst possible time, financially desperate, she got involved with a shady group. Consequently, Kate started peddling questionable health supplements and superficial information products. She tried selling to friends and relatives, but no one bought anything, and she lost their trust. Moreover, she even showed up at her former workplace, causing quite a stir. One of the employees threatened to call the police, so she left immediately, but I'm fed up with the trouble she causes. The reason I know so much about Kate's current situation is that she's unilaterally updating me during this commotion. Hearing the word police seems to have deterred Kate from coming to the workplace for now. I just hope she never returns. It seems Kate is still trying to sell those strange products, and her friends and relatives have completely cut ties with her. Being unmarried and childless, it looks like she's destined for a lonely life. Now, with no acquaintances to turn to, Kate started selling her products on social media. Someone from work showed me what I believe to be Kate's social media account, and it seems a few people have bought her products. I also heard she got into legal trouble for aggressively selling her products. I've come to understand she's a terrible person, and I'm determined to stay away from her. Meanwhile, I've been appointed as a manager at a subsidiary and am working hard every day. I abolished unnecessary rules and established meaningful ones to make work more efficient. I'm careful about how I interact with my subordinates and make sure to listen to their concerns. Of course, I also make sure to do my job properly to set an example for them. Thanks to these efforts, the atmosphere at work has brightened, and there are fewer tired faces. I'm committed to continuing my efforts to create a workplace where everyone can work energetically and happily. My husband and I continue to get along well in our personal life. We recently stayed at a beautiful beach resort hotel during our vacation. My husband chose the hotel, wanting me to relax, as I had been tired from work. The food at the hotel was delicious, and it was a perfect way to refresh. It was tough dealing with such a terrible person, but I'm glad everything worked out in the end. I hope to continue having fulfilling days in both my work and personal life.